There are things in life which people just love. Little things, big things, beautiful moments, and great memories that they only entrust to one. We want precious possessions to be well protected and faithful friends to be handled with the utmost care. We want recipes to be perfect and food to be always fresh. For everything you really love. That's Miele. That's immer besser.
Good afternoon and welcome to a very special edition of Miele Live, today presented with Tasco Appliances. We'd like to welcome all of our viewers who are invited to participate today and anyone else who is joining live on YouTube. I'd like to welcome my very special guest, Brendon Stevenson, joining us from our Tasco Pickering store. The two of us are going to kind of talk a little bit back and forth today about really what makes Tasco special and how Tasco benefits their customers, and also really what makes Miele special and how we work together to accomplish everybody's goals. I do want to remind everyone that this is a live and fully interactive session. Please do ask as many questions as you want. We will do our best to answer them as you ask them. And if there's anything that we can't get to, please please remember that we will at the end, stay tuned. We'll do the best to get to them as much as we can. If there's something we can't answer today, then we will make sure to get back to you by email. So Brendon, tell us a little bit about Tasco. I do want to also make sure that everybody understands why we're standing so far apart. We are obviously social distancing today to ensure everybody's safety here at Miele and at Tasco. So we are going to move around a little bit. But at the Tasco locations, how many locations does Tasco actually have to serve your customers?
So we have 6 locations. We've got Burlington, Brampton, Mississauga, Richmond Hill, Toronto, and Pickering, where I'm from. We've been in business since '54, so it's a long-running operation.
Fantastic.
But, yeah, it's.
And what really is the guiding force? What is it about Tasco that really helps engage your customers and make sure they're getting the best possible shopping experience?
Well, we're all sales reps at Tasco are extremely qualified. So when you come into a Tasco, you're getting top-notch assistance. We do online assistance, we do assistance over the phone, email. We're really interactive with our customers. So we have showrooms much like this one, where we'll go over appliances, and if you have any, sort of question on something, we're glad to show you live. So it's a little bit different than most places where they don't have that large of a showroom. And they don't have that type of interaction. So it's a little bit more refined experience at Tasco.
Perfect. And with that too, I should also remind people that Miele does have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. And we also want to acknowledge that Tasco has...
Tasco Appliance.
Exactly. Tasco Appliances has their own YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook channel. So please do subscribe to all of those. Click that button and make sure that you get a chance to get all of the updates that you can for more videos and insights on both all of the appliances that Tasco offers and their services, as well as Miele Appliances, of course. So obviously, Tasco has a number of different locations that can serve you. I do want to mention as well that, Miele Canada and Tasco have been partners for a very, very long time. And with that, we have extensive training for all of your Tasco team members. I do want to note that, out of all of the retailers that we have, Tasco is some of the highest level trained people out there, with almost every single sales associate there becoming a Miele Expert Sales Advisor. So really we like to thank you, because it means that, when any of your customers walk into a Tasco store, they're going to get that best service and the best level of knowledge on Miele Appliances. Yep. Now during this unique time, let's say, is Tasco open?
Tasco is open. We're open by appointment only at the moment. We're just basically trying to ensure the safety of our customers. We do have customers old and young, so we're just trying to ensure that everyone and their grandmother is safe when they come and shop over at Tasco. So we're doing a lot of online stuff right now. So if you go to tascoappliance.ca, We have live advisors there if you need to ask any questions. And also we're doing a lot over the phone. So,
Good.
I mean, a lot of people still aren't quite there with traveling outside of their homes and don't quite feel comfortable, obviously understandable. So we're doing a lot of business over phone, email, and online. So.
Fantastic. So it's great to hear that there's a lot of different options
Yep.
that your customers have when looking to purchase appliances at Tasco, and that's great. Now, if someone is to make an appointment, is there tend to be a bit of a wait, or is it pretty easy for them to get one?
It's pretty busy right now. I mean,
good.
everyone's stuck inside in their
Yeah.
nest and they're trying to build it up and they're trying to do things because, you know, no one's going away on vacations really this year. So people are tending to put their money into their homes. So it has been quite busy. So we're doing our best to try and keep up with that demand.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's going fairly well. We're managing, but if there is a little bit of a wait in getting back to you, that's just because we're just pretty much the demand is so great.
And that's the good news to
Yeah,
hear.
it's
That's
really
good news
good
here.
news.
Being
Yeah,
busy is
exactly.
good right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
That online agent that you mentioned actually is really interesting, and you know, TascoAppliance.ca, the fact that you can go on there and speak with a live agent directly from your computer. Is that something that people can do just during business hours, or when's the best time to do that?
Yes, so we do operate during business hours.
Okay.
Actually, we kind of extend it a little bit beyond business hours as
great.
well. Generally, we're operating from 10 till 6 at the store right now.
Okay.
But our online stuff is kind of monitored a little bit beyond that. I believe till about 8 p.m.
Oh, that's great.
But generally between business hours, if you're trying to get a hold of us, obviously.
Oh, it's a great idea for people who have retreated to the cottage, right?
Exactly. When
Get
you're
more
trying to
time to
hide, you still got us.
Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about appliances, shall we?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, I just want to remind our viewers that we are actually doing a second session tonight at 7 p.m. So you can join Brendon and I again. Today, what we're going to be doing in this afternoon session is we're going to focus on built-in cooking product, specifically steam, Combi steam, convection ovens, speed ovens, where we can answer any questions that you may have and also talk about really what those benefits are for you, our Tasco customers. And then this evening, we're going to focus on things like refrigeration, range, cooktops, and then of course any other additional questions that you might have about any other appliance that we can offer you. In addition to that, if we do run a little short on time today because we want to ensure that your busy day is taken care of, we will also address those at the beginning of the session this evening for those of you who tune back in tonight. Okay, so I guess it all boils down to someone comes in the store. What do you talk about first?
Well, when I go to Miele Appliances, my favorite Miele appliance, and honestly, I could almost get rid of everything that I have in my kitchen and just replace it with this, but I'm not going to do that because obviously I still like cooktop cooking, is the Combi steam oven. This thing is everything and more that you could ever need it to be, from doing hard-boiled eggs to sous vide to just standard bake modes, breads, whatever you want. There is everything and more inside this thing. So you can give us a little show of the
Absolutely.
interior of that. The capacity inside there is deceivingly large. And I like when this little transformer thing pops up here. It's pretty cool. You can get the thing plumbed or unplumbed. So this is the unplumbed version here. You have the water reservoir on the right, and then the condensation water on the left there. It's obviously easy to clean because it's a steam oven, so you can steam the inside of it.
Absolutely.
Multiple layers that you can cook at the same time. Super easy with the Master Chef programs on there if you don't know how to use it. Unlike most other combination steam ovens, you basically have a professional chef at the touch of your fingers there. The menu cooking is incredible to cook 3 different things at the same time. And them all come out at the exact same time. It makes cooking just really, really easy. So if you're kind of questionable in the kitchen, this thing pretty much does all the work for you. It's a no-brainer on this one. So.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Brendon has definitely touched on one of my favorite appliances as well. Very fortunate to have this in my own home, and I'll tell you, it is one appliance that I use every single day that I'm cooking in the kitchen.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
And you're right. It really, for many people, can actually replace other ovens that you have in the kitchen. So actually, if I can invite you to pull the oven down, the door down on our DGC XXL, which is our extra large version of the Combi steam oven, I also want to make sure that all of our customers understand that we actually have this in 2 different sizes. Now, of course, like you said, it's a robotic here. We like to call it the James Bond oven a little bit. The reason why we call them the XL and the XXL is not just about that deceptively large cavity size. It's also about hiding away the water container to give you a larger amount of cooking space. Exactly. Miele is actually one of the rarest examples in the market where we have that large 63-liter capacity, full 24 by 24 inch size, XXL Combi steam oven, and many of our customers actually fully replace their convection oven just with this. That's it. That's all you need, right? So a lot of options for you. Now, you'd mentioned a lot of things that you love about this oven.
Yep.
And it's a lot for people to digest. And actually, you know what? When we talk about things to digest, we have KTLO 1988. KTLO is a longtime listener and watcher. So thank you for coming back and joining us today. I believe there are other Combi steam ovens in the market. What makes Miele special? So if you had to choose between other Combi steam brands and Miele,
there's not really, there's not. Honestly, I sell all of these brands out there. So when it comes to the ease of use of the Miele Convection steam oven, it is by far the easiest to use. When you look at main competitors, price point is super competitive for what you get. The ease of use, again, with the Master Chef programs, the menu cooking, all the different features like dehydrate, reheat. You can pretty much replace a microwave with this thing. It's and in fact, when you do, if you want to replace a microwave, because a lot of people are trying to get away from that microwave in their kitchen, you're basically reheating food with moisture. You're bringing life back into the food that you're cooking. So there's a lot of different features on this one that definitely separate it from the rest of the brands, but it's definitely that ease of use through the Master Chef.
And if I can add one other thing here too that really does make Miele special, and it is a little technical, but we're going to make it as easy as possible for you, is actually how steam is coming into the actual cavity. And a lot of brands in the market, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they have a little cup in the bottom of the oven where they basically fill that with water and they release steam into the cavity. We call this internal generation of steam. The problem with that, and again, I'm sure you can comment if I'm off base, is it's a little harder to control the amount of steam in the cavity.
Well, yeah, and it's also a little bit slower as well.
Exactly, and with Miele, with our multi-steam back here, the steam is actually generated outside of the oven itself, behind the back wall. And by very carefully injecting steam in and keeping it within a 1 degree temperature, and when we talk sous vide in a second, it's very, very important, that does play a massive part in the effectiveness of this oven. So going back to and hopefully KLTO, that did answer your question. I think that unto itself, amongst way more things like our Master Chef, like all of the steam programs, like menu cooking, separates us. But from a basic level,
I would say, and the biggest thing that separates Miele from the competitors is the longevity and quality of the product.
Absolutely.
They design their products to last for 20 years domestic use. It's not like your, all your other brands out there, which, average lifespan of an appliance is much lower than it was 20, 30 years ago. Miele is still making products to last just like they did a long, long time ago when grandparents ruled the earth. So
it is, and just to remind our viewers here today that Miele is a family-owned company, 4th generation, based out of Germany. It started in 1899, and I can attest to the fact that we really do make them like we used to. That dedication to quality and that dedication to longevity and also beauty. Right? I think one of the things that we can also, see here is that, whether your kitchen is brand new or whether it's, 20 years old, they're going to look as beautiful as the day you got them because they're intended and designed to look fantastic and not be like our powder blues and our avocado greens, right?
Exactly.
I don't want to forget about a couple other things that we spoke about when it relates to things that you recommend to your customers when we look at the Combi steam oven. So I do want to just kind of pick out a few little things, if I may. Sure. We talked about the steam generation. You did mention as well about the fact that we do have these either plumbed or tanked versions. With the plumbed version, you know, you can hook up a water line and a drain line, so that way any of the condensate or dirty water that might collect in the drain area here is flushed away, and also that you don't have to constantly refill the tank. You know, and it's interesting because I have the tanked version at home. I'm not going to say a buyer's remorse, but I definitely say from a convenience standpoint, the plumbed version really does make it easy for you because you don't have to empty anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're not constantly going back to the sink and filling things up.
Touch and go.
Yeah, exactly. It touch and go, and I think for all of you who are considering this product, it's a great, great way to get the best out of it. MasterChef functions in here. When we talk about MasterChef, our automated programs, I'm going to just put the panel down here, and if we want to take a look in here very briefly, we can see how this functions. You know, for those of you who aren't familiar with the controls, all of our Combi steam ovens are M-Touch controls. Now, this was introduced with Generation 6000, and the M-Touch control is a touchscreen, just like your smart device. So we can scroll back and forth or use the arrows if we want. But as Brendon said, you know, you're taking all that guesswork out, right?
You get a Combi steam oven, you don't, I'm not going to get a Combi steam oven and automatically know how to use the thing. So,
exactly.
Master Chef.
Now, do you get a lot of people in the store who come in and say, I don't like to cook?
Yes.
So
there's quite a few actually.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, pretty much daily. So.
And I think that's one of the big benefits of things like our MasterChef automatic programs here is that by taking, you know, some if not all of the guesswork out, depending on what you're doing, it takes those novice cooks or people who don't like it and really helps them become a pro,
Turns them
right?
into a professional chef.
Exactly.
It's insane.
You know, so I think, you know, just as a form of an example, I think let's just, you know, very quickly in our, let's say our meat area here, take a look at the types of things that you can do. So if I go into our meat, I'm choosing not just meat in general, but different types. Beef, lamb, poultry, game, pork, veal. If I take beef here, oops, I must have hit the back button by mistake. You know, gourmet beef tenderloin, beef patties, sirloin steaks.
So many options.
And I guess in addition to that now, because this is really a true 3-in-1 appliance, and I think that's really important too, is that it's a steam oven, it's a fully fledged convection oven, and it's a combi oven, meaning that we're going to combine regular convection cooking with added steam. Things like our gourmet beef tenderloin, a little bit longer program, a little bit slower. We add moisture into that slow cooking, and it comes out looking exactly like it does in a restaurant, right?
Exactly.
And that really is what makes this oven truly unique and special. Now I'm going to ask you a question. I want to see if you paid attention to all our training seminars.
Go ahead.
How many MasterChef automatic programs do we think we have in here? Over how many?
Over 100.
Oh, I gotcha. That's in here.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay.
Because we're actually combining our steam oven, our solo steam oven, with our convection, we're mushing it all together. We actually have over 250.
250.
250. And this also means that, you know, we can also pull from different cultures and different countries.
Yeah, when you change the country of origin, now you have an even longer list of options.
100%. Yeah, because, you know, Miele is a global company. You know, we have this cooperation between multiple Miele countries, and what we did for this generation and well into the future is if you go into the languages, and we have 30 different languages, but also dialects. Where is it spoken? So English isn't just spoken here. Spoken in the United States, Great Britain, Australia, South Africa. Tastes are different in these regions. So these regional MasterChef programs will actually change the names. Some will leave and some will be added in depending on where it is you are and the language that you speak, because all of these countries collaborated together to bring you, the customer, the best experience possible. I don't want to forget about one of the other nice things that you said, and that is menu cooking. Yeah, so what is it? What do people complain about? We already talked about people who don't like to cook, right?
Oh, yeah.
But what about the people who always have a hard time?
Timing.
Timing, exactly. And that's where
timing.
the problem is. So, you know, in our special modes, we have what's called menu cooking. Now, very important, I want to make sure you know that this actually is focused on making sure that all of the food comes out at the same time. Not in, out, because you want that meal to be ready all at once. So, in this case, you can actually choose up to 3 different menu items Well, let's say you do fish, rice, and a vegetable. You know, and when we talk fish, say like a poached salmon, maybe some basmati rice and some asparagus. And because it doesn't matter how much you put in here, because steam surrounds everything, you can put it on any shelf level.
Doesn't matter.
Put as much in, and you can feed a family of 6 in here, no problem at all.
Easily.
Yeah,
If not
easily.
more.
And in our XXL, you know, 8 to 10, 12 people even, right? Because you've got lots of space in these ovens. And what it will do is it will do a countdown based on the longest thing that it takes to cook, and then will prompt you to add the next item. And once the process is done to up to 3 items, then your dinner is ready. No more worrying about the timing.
Yep.
And before we move on, because we do have to cover our convection ovens and our speed ovens really quickly, I just want to mention sous vide. Because again, this is all about benefit to your customers at Tasco,
Yep.
right? I know for myself, barbecuing and doing all the cooking when I have people over, not as much anymore, but soon we hope.
Yep.
Timing dinners, again, is same thing with the menu cooking.
Yep.
Sous vide is great because of that. You're setting the oven to the temperature in which you want the item to be when it
Yep.
comes out.
You cannot overcook it.
Exactly, and that's what we like to always say is it's impossible to overcook, because if your steak at a medium rare is set to 125, 130,
Coming out
you
of a
set the
medium
oven
rare.
to that, the oven is going to stay exactly at that temperature. You can put that in at lunchtime.
Yep.
And instead of running around, making sure, you know, having fun with your guests and forgetting about those steaks, all you have to do is just take them out of the oven, cut the bag open, have a pan or a grill ready to go,
to go.
flash them and you're done, right?
Yep.
So I think sous vide, which is scary to some people, actually gives you a lot of benefit for entertaining for your customers, right?
Sure. Oh yeah. And the quality that comes out of sous vide, like the tenderness, because you're trapping in all of that moisture inside of what you're cooking. It's just like, it's definitely an experience to be had. That thing's able to do it. So.
And I do want to also remind people, we aren't showing it today, but Miele actually also does have a vacuum sealing drawer. We have our own Miele food safe vacuum sealing bags, and you know, a lot of people will put this installed underneath their Combi steam or steam oven, and it can do all the sealing and everything for sous vide right there, as well as a number of other different functions. So let's move on to number 2. What will be the next thing you're going to show your customers when they come on in?
The convection oven, which
Yes.
is generally paired up with the Combi steam oven.
Okay.
Generally, like you have it here in this setup,
Yep.
you have a convection oven, and then you have your Combi steam or your speed oven above it.
Okay.
Personally, I'm the Combi steam guy, more so than the speed, but the convection oven here is phenomenal as well. You have the same M-Touch we're displaying here, but you have 3 different options. You
Yep.
have Sensatronic, which is below the Combi steam oven here.
Right here,
And
yeah.
then you have your classic touch controls, which are on the speed oven here.
With the easy control, yeah.
So it's yeah, exactly, the easy control. So it's 3 different price points, because not everyone's going to be in the price point of an M-Touch wall oven or a Sensatronic wall oven. So they do have that price point where you still get the same quality from Miele, same performance from Miele, but you know, at a lower price point, so it's not as hard on the pocketbook.
You know, and I think you bring up a really good point in terms of the technology and the quality of construction. And for those of you who have tuned into some of our other Miele Live sessions or our discovery classes, when I spoke about dishwashers a couple weeks ago, I actually opened up the dishwashers, and you know, just like opening up the ovens here, when I look inside, whether or not you choose one of our easy control ovens or all the way up to our M-Touch ovens, the interior is exactly the same. You know, the racks that you're going to
Quality's the
get,
same.
you will have, you know, again, we have glide out racks. All of the oven categories come with a glide out rack. If you get a different model like an M-Touch, you might even get 2. But of course, you know, they are self-clean capable. And, you know, what's one of the things when I open this up that we always like to talk about?
Oh man, PyroFit self-cleaning racks.
Exactly.
One of the worst things about owning an oven is having to clean the oven, which
Yeah.
is my least favorite part. But those PyroFit self-cleaning racks, they stay in for the self-clean cycle. Even the racking on the side is self-clean capable, so you don't have to take out anything. So it's ease of use, ease of clean, just honestly just a mean machine. It's,
Yeah, now in our convection ovens here, they are all self-clean capable using this pyrolytic or high heat self-clean. It actually cleans at just under 800 degrees Fahrenheit. So essentially when you run the program, it turns everything to ash. Very easy to wipe out, no special chemicals or anything needed. And in this case here too, you know, even the gliders that you have, which in some cases with some brands in the market would start to grind,
Oh, yeah.
you know, because we use graphite runners here, you don't have any of these issues, and they're built to withstand that high heat. Interesting reason why we do this, so it's not just for convenience. I don't know if you know this, but one of the reasons why we do this is actually because of kind of European style of cooking, and that is a lot of Europeans actually cook their meats directly on the rack. Which here in Canada, a lot of people say, oh, I don't clean my racks that often, right? But really, it's a wonderful thing to do, to have those fully sterilized and ready to go for roasting. Because if you have your roasting pan underneath to catch all the drippings, with a convection oven, you're going to get that full surround cooking with perfect browning, and it's going to actually give you a better result. Now, that's one thing I think I do want to just touch on really quick, if you don't mind, and that is really how cooking happens in a Miele oven. And it actually happens in all of these ovens. A lot of ovens out in the market have your bake at the very bottom, your bake element, and in Miele ovens they're hidden. We have our broiler at the top, but in the back, they might be convection, but there's just blowing hot air, right? Mm-hmm. With Miele ovens, of course, we don't just do that. We have what's called true European convection. So any of your convection-based programs that say convection or convection bake are actually going to utilize an oval element that surrounds the fan in the back, and the heating is coming directly from the back. Why is this important? Multi-level cooking, right? Yep. You know, so for your customers to come in and say, oh, I'm so tired of this. You know, the oven says it's going to do something and it's going to be multi-level cooking, but when I put 3 trays of cookies in here,
it doesn't come out evenly.
It doesn't come out evenly, right? The bottom one where the heat source is always a little bit more well done than the ones at the top. So because the heat's coming from the back, you don't have to worry about that in a Miele oven. Every level is going to be the same with no odor or flavor transfer in the oven. Now, talking about odors.
Catalytic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Now, in our Sensortronic, which is we have the 3 different types. We have our Easy Control, our Sensortronic, which is a touch control, not a touch screen, and of course our M-Touch that we have over here. And we also have the nice little jingle in the beginning, which you either can have on or turn off.
Whatever you want.
We actually have a catalyzer in here. Now, most people say, well, what the heck is that for? Well, a lot of times it's used for things like self-clean, right? Because you get that smell for the first hour or so. But I love talking to customers about this because honestly, the nicest thing about it is that what if you're cooking fish or spiced foods in the house? It actually will reduce the odors that come out of the oven and into your home. So I think it's a wonderful thing, and I actually use this at home for my little kids, right? So I turn it on full when I'm baking cookies, because I don't want them to know that I'm baking cookies, because they're always grabbing me and saying, I want a cookie, I want a cookie. And in this case, we want to, hide the fact that we're going to be cooking some of these wonderful smells, right? Mm-hmm. Our good friend KLTO is asking another question again. Are there any promotional offers right now?
Absolutely.
There is, exactly.
Yes.
With our Miele, all Miele major appliances right now, we are offering for the next day or so, up until tomorrow actually is the end of the promotion. That's right. We're offering our summer sales event with 10% off all of these, each appliance, plus a free 5-year warranty.
Which is the best of both worlds, because you want a little bit of a discount, little bit of a warranty, which is awesome. So,
fantastic. And again, warranty really just peace of mind, right?
Yeah, realistically, these things are built so well, but I mean, it is, like you said, just that peace of mind, which is a nice little added touch.
Absolutely. So we talked about, keeping those odors down, proper cooking, multi-level cooking, ease of cleaning. Anything else about these ovens that really, you find people really ask you about, or that you talk about when you're, discussing Miele?
Well, everyone's always looking to get something that does not smudge. People don't like stainless steel that smudges, and guess what? Every brand out there that does the smudge proof, they have some sort of odd look to it, and it doesn't. I don't always find that it looks that good. But with Miele, they have their Clean Touch stainless steel, so cleaning is a breeze, again, not only in the oven, but outside the oven as well. So Clean Touch stainless steel is a huge thing for my customers, because everyone's always complaining that my kids touch and so this addresses that, which is awesome.
Well, and I think on the broader topic, just of design in general, what we're showing here today in our session, really our contour line, where you have the stainless steel surrounding the product. You've got on our Sensortronic and M-Touch ovens, you've got the swivel handle for ergonomics. On the Easy Control, it looks like it might swivel, but again, just to save a few pennies there, we keep it so it's static. But again, we have this clean touch steel. Just take a damp cloth. You don't need any chemicals, nothing, and it looks like stainless steel, no gimmicks or dark stainless or any type of strange look. I also don't want to forget too that we have also our Pure Line, which is a smaller, skinnier handle with black posts that connect to the door to give it the appearance of floating, right?
Yeah, and that black glass edging. Yep.
Exactly. Now, you also mentioned it before when we were talking about stacking these lifestyle pieces with the convection oven. Yep. Because most of these pieces are 24 inches, and its ovens come in 24 and 30-inch models, for those who want to stack it above a larger 30-inch appliance, we do have these trim kits which give it the appearance of a 30-inch appliance, and it makes a nice match inside the kitchen. And of course, MasterChef, talked about it here, carries over into here as well.
Carries right over.
Yeah, so in our Easy Control convection ovens, we do not have MasterChef. The intention is to give you the most popular programs that our customers desire, but really giving you just that Miele name, the technology, the longevity, but a very straightforward platform to do your cooking. Anything else that we'd like to talk about here before we move on to our speed oven?
So I know that they have it in the Combi steam oven. I just didn't get a chance to touch on it. The start now, ready at, or start at feature. That thing is huge. When I show that to my customers, they're like, what? I can just put it in there and have it ready at a certain time?
Absolutely.
Now, the convection oven doesn't have the ready at feature, I believe.
Depends on which model you have.
Yeah.
But yes, in most cases you do.
Yep.
And again, to your point, Brendon, it's there so that hopefully people don't leave their chicken in there all day.
Yeah, don't
But
do that.
it's intended to, again, help that timing when you're planning your meal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And on the same topic of planning your meal and ensuring that you're going to get the best possible result, in our Easy Control ovens, we do not have a probe. In our Sensortronic, it's a wired probe. In our M-Touch ovens, we do have our wireless probe. Yep. You want to get that perfect result. As soon as you put the probe in the piece of food, it's going to register and ask you if you would like to use that probe, set your core temperature, and then as soon as that is finished and it reaches that temperature, the oven will shut off.
Yeah, and there's 4 different points on the probe too.
Exactly.
So you can do things like, salmon where it might be a little bit thinner, so roast is a little bit thicker, it's going to go deeper into the meat. But if you're wanting to do those things like pastries or something like that, then you have 4 different temperature zones on that probe to register that heat.
And very unique to Miele, the fact that that probe has those 4 measurements, and you can, and you just said it, and I just want to reiterate the fact that you can put this in a piece of salmon.
Yeah.
Something that you would never think of doing.
Never think of doing that.
Set that core temperature, and you're off to the races.
Yeah.
Another question from our friend KLTO. Do I need to worry about any inventory issues? I know a lot of companies right now have run into inventory issues. Did you want to comment on this at all, Brendon?
Well, yes, there has been many inventory issues throughout the industry. Lots of U.S. brands specifically, unfortunately, with the U.S. in their current state. It's been kind of difficult with manufacturing facilities closing down. So there's backlogs on a lot of those products. With Miele, Germany's been doing very well with this, just similar to Canada. So there's actually been, I haven't run into any inventory issues whatsoever, actually. Not a single one. I mean, we're selling a lot of dishwashers right now, so there's every once in a while, we're changing to this Gen 7s as well, so every once in a while there's that, but I have not run into a single inventory issue with Miele so far.
And that's great news. Great news for those who are interested in purchasing a Miele appliance. As we approach the end of our time together for this afternoon session, I do want to make sure that we don't leave out our speed oven.
Speed oven.
So the speed oven comes in 2 different types. We have our speed oven in Easy Control and M-Touch. And the one we're actually showing here is our Easy Control model. And I don't want to dive too deep into this, but I think really it's this misconception of what a speed oven really is. So tell us for a second, what is a speed oven?
Well, a speed oven is much like a Combi steam oven, combining different forms of cooking to achieve, in this case, a faster result, hence the name speed oven. So it's going to be using your convection, it's going to be using your bake, your microwave to just basically attain a faster result. It's just using small amounts of microwaves. It's not, don't confuse it, it's not only a microwave. A lot of customers think, oh, I don't want to cook in my microwave. No, it's just small bursts of microwave to begin that interior cook, along with the browning and crisping. So you get the same results as in your oven, except you're about, what, like 33% faster or
Absolutely, you hit it on the head, yeah.
So it's pretty handy for those people that are kind of, you know, in tight spots. They got a lot of people in the house and they're trying to get meals out left, right, and center. So having a speed oven is a pretty awesome thing. So I don't know if you wanted to...
Yeah, I think, you know, just touching on what you said very quickly is, you know, people get scared of these because they don't understand the name. It is like the Combi steam oven, it is a true 3-in-1 appliance. It is your microwave. It is a secondary, in most cases.
Still got a popcorn button.
Convection oven, got your popcorn functions.
Lots of people
but again, by taking a small amount of microwaves, because we don't want to dry out the food or compromise the end result, the flavor of your food. We want to make sure that you're getting a little bit in there to speed up the cooking process. And I don't know about you, but you know, I'm home with my family in the evening, and you know, when you have a long work day and you get home, and you know, saving those extra 20 minutes when you cook a casserole means I can now read with my children or do other things, and I think that time savings for you, the Tasco customer, is very important. We do have another question from KLTO. He's a very active question asker today, but a very important one. What Miele products do we have on display at our Tasco locations?
At my Tasco location, it's one of the newer Tasco locations out there. We actually have a very nice Miele display.
Pickering,
large,
right?
Yes,
Pickering?
Tasco Pickering.
Okay.
Very large showroom. So we have quite, we call it a pillar of our store. It's quite the large showroom with Miele appliances. So we have everything from built-in refrigeration, cooktops, range tops, range. We have a 48-inch range, a 36-inch range. We've got the Combi steam, we've got the speed oven, convection ovens, warming drawers, vacuums even. We pretty much got it all, and a wide selection of dishwashers to look at as well.
So everything we've talked about today, they can come see.
Yeah, you can come see at the Tasco Pickering location, no problem.
And I think all of the Tasco locations, for sure. You know, and I think all of the Tasco locations pretty much have similar displays.
Yeah, similar displays.
Now we do in your Dufferin Street location have the Tasco next door, which is a much larger display. But again, you know, all Tasco representatives at all of the stores are going to be able to help all of your customers. So I think for now, I think we've covered all of the questions that have come in so far. You know, we want to, of course, thank everybody for joining us today. I do want to just remind you that we did only cover a few topics tonight. Brendon and I are going to be back this evening at 7 o'clock to go for round number 2, where we tackle some refrigeration questions and some range questions, cooktop questions, coffee systems if you wish, you know, and any other products that you might be interested in. So I want to, again, thank everybody for joining us today. I also want to say right now that in about 20 minutes time at 4 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing another one of our Miele Dines local segments. Today we're going to be joined by Chef Eric Ma from Prelude Bistro in Calgary, Alberta, who's going to be making a signature dish from their restaurant. And of course, for any other events, for all upcoming schedules, please join us on mielelive.ca. And again, please make sure to subscribe to the Miele Canada YouTube channel. And of course, Tasco, again, we have your options for both, for all of YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook channels. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining us here at the Miele Experience Centre with Brendon from Tasco.